Hello, my loves. Happy Monday. This is a riff on soul purpose. I'm Ellie Frost. If you don't know me, I'm a business strategist and mentor, coach, guide, spiritual guide for soul-driven visionaries, leaders, people who are wanting to monetize who they are and what they love in ways that benefit the collective, in humanity-focused ways. Generate wealth, happiness, fulfillment, doing what they love, being who they are, elevating consciousness in some way. I love talking about soul purpose. My whole life has been led by it. And sometimes people doubt themselves, but I feel like, I wrote a post the other day and it was like, when your soul talks to you, it feels like a tickle. Your soul whispers. It doesn't shout. Your ego shouts, your fear shouts, but your soul whispers. It's like a tickle. And when we hear a message from our soul, it normally expands us. It's normally like, oh my gosh, like, what if I could do that? Or it's something that inspires you. It could be, and it's often linked to the other side of it. It's often the things in the world that frustrate you most. On the other side of it is a possibility that you're actually being led to be part of the change on. And when you actually think about how it could be, it kind of excites you, exhilarates you. And often when that happens, a lot of us shut that down. Hello, I can't see who's on, but say hi to me. I'd love to hear who's here. So I'm talking about our soul. When our soul talks, it whispers. The ego shouts, fear shouts, our old patterns seem loud, but the soul is like a tickle. But it's always talking to you. It's always talking to you. It's in the music you love. It's in the things you care about. It's in your passions. It's in the things you do naturally that are just unique to you. It's in the things that most inspire you. It's in the things that you can't stop learning about. It's all in there. Most people don't know how to communicate and position what they're here to do, right? I'm excellent at that. I've had years in brand strategy, business development for some of the biggest brands on the planet. So my program, Elevate You, is going to start next week. You need to come into that if you're interested in nailing your communications, nailing your messaging, understanding and aligning with your soul essence, getting all the ducks in a row. If you're starting or scaling, hi Sherry, this program is for you. No one on the planet does this work like I do. I've not only got the spiritual gifts to be able to attune you and align you with your soul essence and purpose. I've had 20 years working with some of the biggest brands on the planet. So I know the strategies, but what I can do that I don't know many people that can do is I can align them with you in ways that work. Monetizing who you are from what you love, especially if you're a humanity-focused leader, is my jam. That program is 10 weeks. We take a break for Christmas, but by the end of January, every single issue you've got in your business, if you can't monetize, if you're not having the impact you want, if you're confused, if you're going round in circles, I will break the traumas associated with you elevating into your soul purpose. You will also have a roadmap, what I call a brand print, that will help you always come back to the bigger picture of what it's really about. When we get lost in business, we've often got attached to the way we're doing things. I talk about genius work in genius ways in that program. I teach you how to channel and activate your genius with the practical strategies, because sometimes we're so stuck on the way we're doing something, we've forgotten to tune in to the way we want to do it. Sometimes I've got another program I run after called Visionary to Visionary, and I teach the guys in that, the visionary how is how you want to do it, but most of us aren't in tune enough with ourselves to be able to design our how. Guess what? Not just your work, but the way you want to do it is available to you, but most of us have been smothered in this swamp on the internet where we're not channeling our own hows. We're not feeding into our own genius ways of working that suit our energy, that suit our human design, that suit our way of working. So we cover all of that in there. And, we have to change our priorities to make this work. It's like, people get stuck on the next thing, it's a lead magnet. I'm going to do a book. I'm going to make a retreat. It doesn't matter what the vehicles are if you're not aligned, right? You have to be aligned first. And then you understand what tools you need, because all the things are only as good as like how you utilize them. I was saying to my clients often, for example, a website. Everyone, you see, I've been working in strategy for long enough that I can tell you the how and why things work, not just what to do. And if you don't know how and why things work, you can't bespoke things to you or really understand them. Let me give you a good example. Hi, my love. Hi, Sylvia. Say you've been told you need a website, yeah? let me explain. Your website's good for two things. One, if you just want a placeholder that you can tell people information, like say you were a physical business, it could give your map, it could give your physical location. If I was a personal trainer and I had a studio, it's useful to give my contact details. If you are wanting people to come to your website and buy for you, the actual website is only as important as how you know how to drive traffic to it, right? In both examples, really. But you've got to understand the how and why you want something. People say to me, well, I think maybe I need a book, or I need a lead magnet, or I need a website, but they don't understand how and why. Now, I take people who have very little and help them utilize one brand asset. A brand asset is a social media page, it's a website, it's a network. Your network is a brand asset, but most people don't know how to leverage it. So what I'm really good at is helping you see what you've got right now. I don't tell you to start creating things that are above your budget. If you come in my one-on-one experience, it's a business development strategy experience and you're growing, there may be other things, but the tools don't matter if you don't know how to leverage and use them. So if you have a website, if you've invested in something, it's a brand asset. And if you want to utilize it, your website's only as good as the traffic you're driving to it. But if you send the wrong traffic, people who are not qualified, not good leads, right, then it's not that useful. So we hear things online and we think, that's what I'm missing. But we don't understand how and why those things are important. So when we break down the principles, which is what I give you in Elevate You, the principles of how and why things work, what that does is it helps you make very good business decisions. You'll come out of that container understanding the principles, understanding how and why things work, so that you can make very good decisions in your business and brand. When people say, well, I bought this program and I did what they said and it didn't work, it's because they were placing over importance on that thing. They didn't understand behind it how and why it works. We're looking to understand principles, right? And that's what I can give you. I've had so much experience in this, so that when you understand principles, then you can see, now I can see that probably wouldn't be right for me. That's not kind of how I want to work in my business. So I would be better off using this. Hello, Emily. Hello, gorgeous. I'm talking about, right, I work with a lot of people on their strategy, their brand strategy. As you know, I've worked with a lot of the celebrities and people on like how they develop their business and brand. And I'm helping people online in the mainstream who are confused or just wanting to elevate, right, make good decisions, because everything works, yeah? Could you having a lead magnet of sending someone to a mailing list work for you? Sure. But what are you going to do with your mailing list? So I help you know what your priority is. Is it a priority for you to have a website if you're very big on like being on Instagram every day and actually people could buy from you straight there and you don't have the investment to put in the website? How we navigate these decisions matters, because the website doesn't give you traffic. You've got to drive traffic. The lead magnet only works if you're using it in an appropriate way. Followers. I've worked with people out here that have invested so much in their personal brands. They've got so many followers and they've made nothing in their business. I've worked with other people online who are starting out and all they've got is a Facebook page and they start making a lot of money, right? So we want to get away from, we want to start being a bit more discerning and understanding the principles behind how and why certain strategies work before we make a decision. Yeah, the thing isn't going to give you success. Knowing what thing to use that's going to help you is going to give you success. And what's going to help you depends on your business model, right? So that's, again, Elevate You. I strip you right back into that because it's got to be appropriate for your business model. Again, you can have loads of leads, but if they're completely inappropriate for who you want to appeal to, that's no good. If you're selling things that aren't appropriate to your audience, that's not going to work either. Okay? So it's not, when people talk on the internet about, you need to know about strategy, you need to know about your aligned strategy, and that comes from an intelligent approach to understanding these principles I'm talking about. Just putting in, I've had people, my clients have done this, just putting in ClickFunnels, just putting in lead magnets won't necessarily work if the foundation's not right, if you don't understand what you're actually trying to achieve with it. So everything can be leveraged. What blows my clients' minds is that I can leverage your brand assets now in a way that you won't even believe. Like, because you'll think, it's not working, but a brand asset. So let me take it at the very simplest form. Every single human being on this planet right now has at least one brand asset that I can identify for you, because you have a network. And you might say, yeah, but my people are not my... I don't care, right? They still have a network through them. So even if you had no social media, which is impossible if you're watching me, I guess, right? If you had no social media, you have a brand net. And if you think about all brand assets, so a brand asset is your website, maybe it's your book, maybe it's your social media presence. What do they all rely on? Network. That's what they all rely on. Right? So the first thing to think about, if you've got no money to spend, or you don't think you have, which is not generally true, but there's no point spending money in not aligned places because it doesn't get you very far. And I really teach you how to make good decisions. Come into Elevate You if you're serious about your business brand and you really want to go deep on this. It's not just energy stuff, although that's amazing what I do in there. It's also I'm going to help you be able to navigate and shift things fast. The things that happen in that container are mind-blowing, right? But the reason is because you start going in the right direction for you. But anyway, so all brand assets generally rely on network, right? So you've got some element of it. And why do you want it? So I've worked with people out here that have spent so much money in not aligned ways, and all they've got is a bigger problem. Yeah. Now I've invested more money. Like for example, I had a celebrity out here. She hired a social media agency. This was for thousands a month, and what they were doing on the social media was creating a lot of people and comments. But guess what? It was totally off-brand. It was totally off-brand, and she didn't have the aligned products and services to sell to the right people, but the right people wouldn't even look at that because it was totally off, right? So getting this navigation piece, I talk about Elevate You as a navigation tool, like in terms of you're going to know with clarity, with certainty, exactly, hello, my beautiful lady, hello, Sylvia, exactly what you need to do, right? To make your business work, you're going to understand past all the illusions, how and why things work, which gives you power and clarity to make good decisions. It's going to demystify the complexity that you might be circling in. And again, it's like we want to utilize our energy very well. So if I choose, we don't choose, a lot of people are saying, I'm going to choose that. I'm going to get a Facebook group because I think that works, right? But that Facebook group might not be in alignment with how you need to work. I work with people in many different situations. I have got single mothers coming to me online, monetizing online. I've got CEOs of multiple businesses, right? They've all got different time. They've all got different ways they need to do this. They've all got different structures. So until you get this foundation I'm talking about, which is what we do in Elevate You, you won't necessarily make the right decision. And if you're not in alignment, everything just escalates. It's not that you just suddenly get to a point where over time, the thing that wasn't working suddenly starts working. What happens is a snowball effect. Yeah. Now, not to say that there isn't a bit of persistence in the aligned things. There is a tipping point. You do have to put energy and momentum in for things to work. But you want to make sure you're going in the right direction. Same as a GPS system. If I've set my GPS to Vegas, I'm not going to end up in California, yeah? So when I find I'm in Vegas and I've gone the wrong way, I didn't know I was setting my GPS there, but that might be complicated. But what I'm saying is all the dots on the foundation level have to be aligned, right? That is our energy, that is our mindset, but it's also the strategies that are going to work for us. We can't blame the strategy if the strategy isn't aligned. People are getting caught up in the wrong things. They haven't had the depth of business experience and the substance behind it, so they don't know how and why it works. That's why a lot of people, they're not lying often, like on the internet, will have done something and it's worked, right? But they'll just only be able to tell you what they did. Yeah, because it's true, it did work for them and it might work for you, but only you, until you strip it back into the foundation, you're not going to know if it's the right thing for you. And then you might think, well, this doesn't work for me, my business doesn't work. It's not that your business doesn't work, it's that until you understand the principles of why and how strategies work, so you can bespoke them to what's aligned with your unique proposition, yeah, your unique style and the way you need to handle it, depending on where you are financially, depending on where you are time-wise, then that's why, right? And you've got more than you think available to you right now because you've got the internet, yeah? We make it complicated. We try and invest in the next thing. We put tools in the toolbox, not knowing if they're the right tools. I need a lead magnet. I need ClickFunnels. I need a book. I need a website. And then they end up not necessarily yielding, right? So no. We need a strong foundation that's going to yield. And as soon as I'm yielding, I expand on that foundation. Do you see? That's how we scale for exponential success, right? We don't build a foundation that's off, keep adding things to it, and wonder why it's not yielding. right? So Elevate You is a 10-week journey. We do energetic work. We activate genius. We clear visibility trauma. We clear authentic power trauma. We clear all the stuff in the way of you being paid for being who you are. But beyond that, there is a very deep dive strategic process that I have been paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for over the years with some of the brands that you watch on television, the celebrities that you may know, right? Those people paid me to help them with their strategy. So there's no way that I can't help the people on the internet like that are starting out, because what you need isn't that complex. You just don't know how to use what you've already got. One being your unique soul purpose and essence. Two being able to, it's not anyone's fault, we have to learn, but I've learned this so I can teach it to you. What are the right things for you? The reason I don't sell you a one-trick cookie cutter strategy is because that might not be right for you. But when you get these principles and when we go through this process, you start seeing how you can bespoke things and how actually it can be a lot simpler than you think, because when you're on the right track, everything is simple. And when we're stuck in complexity, then it's hard, right? So contact me about Elevate You. It will be the most transformational thing you've ever done in your business and brand. The thing with my work is it's what I call complete. It's very, very high on depth. It's not a ton of work. It's not like you have to, like, you're going to have to spend in that program, I'd say you need to allow at least a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours a week that you need to focus on it. But it's around your time, most of it, apart from the group coaching calls. It will rock your world. There's no reason. If you really are serious, then it's not working for you in the way you want, or you're ready for an elevation, get in there. If you keep thinking, I'll just spend $200 here and do this and that, and it's not working for you, if you actually add it up, you're probably just wasting your money and time over time until you get this core sorted, right? This is a great opportunity because there's no way that people at my level often give that kind of depth to the main, like to an accessible point, and it's a very detailed thing. I'm with you every step of the way for over 2.5 months, right? You implement in that course. Contact me about it. It will change your world. There's no one that hasn't got excellent results in it. I am very discerning in my alignment in what I teach and what I bring together. There's no way that you wouldn't be able to get a very solid foundation. You've got to mean it. You've got to you've got to apply yourself. But like, it's complete. You'll get the support you need to break through whatever you're trying to break through. You'll get the support you need to scale if you haven't been able to scale. You'll get the support you need to get your things into alignment if you've been doing things you don't really like and you know aren't quite right, but you're not quite sure how to get out of it and switch it. Sometimes you're monetizing things, but they're not in the way you want to monetize them. All of that gets dealt with. I'm very happy to have a conversation with you on that. So contact me about it. Other than that, let's give you some ideas to think about, to own and to embody. There has never been a better time on the planet, which is true, by the way, to monetize my soul-driven work. I have never been more supported by God, the universe, and what's going on in current affairs to monetize my soul-driven work than now. This is true. Changes in the world are helping me come into clarity and giving me the opportunity to step into what I know I'm here to do. Yeah, my time is now. Let's claim that. Go out, monetize your God-given gifts. Do your soul-driven path. There is an elevation on the planet right now. We all need you, right? We all need each other. This is the time. There's money for it. There's happiness in it. There's prosperity. There's everything you want to thrive, right? Don't get confused. Choose yourself. Choose your soul purpose. And join Elevate You, obviously, but really know that anything you believe that is anything other than the time is right for you to monetize who you are, what you love, especially if you're a visionary, healer, innovator, here to do humanity-focused things. Your time is now. Anything else is rubbish. Get yourself in the room, in the right rooms. Start deciding now that this is the time. You absolutely came to like live the life you wanted to live, being from who you are, understanding your unique gifts and essence and being able to monetize them. That's what we're all here for. That's how we change the world. People running those businesses on the planet change everything for all of us, right? So I'm sending you a ton of love. Contact me if you want to talk about Elevate You. Happy Monday, guys. Last day of October. This year is about, well, I don't like to say that, but like this year, there's still a lot in this year, right? There's still a lot in this year. And if you come into Elevate You, you will go into next year, because we will finish sort of, I think, mid-January in a very strong position with some changes already in place and normally some results in place. You know, monetizing who you are and what you love is my entire jam. It's everything I've lived for, to do with people, but for people who are here to elevate consciousness, for people who are changing the paradigm, right, of what work is and what business is like, and just like being what we came to be on the planet, changing things for the collective. I love this stuff. So Feeling the vibes, lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.